Good evening, Africa, and welcome back to Voice of Africa, the platform committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and insightful news shaping the African continent. If this is your first time joining us, kindly take a moment to like this video so more Africans can access credible information, and make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss updates that matter.
Tonight, we focus on the Republic of Guinea, where a major economic milestone has just been reached. The long-awaited exploitation of the Simandu iron ore reserves, considered one of the largest untapped deposits in the world, has officially begun. For decades, Simandu was spoken about as a possibility rather than a concrete project, often slowed by political changes, disputes over concession rights, and logistical challenges. But today, the government says that phase of uncertainty is over. Under the leadership of President Mamadi Dumbuya, full-scale operations are now underway, marking what authorities describe as a strategic shift toward industrial sovereignty. According to official statements, the Simandu project represents more than the extraction of raw minerals. It is framed as a national economic strategy aimed at transforming Guinea from a resource-rich nation into an industrialized and value-producing economy. Government representatives argue that achieving this requires not only mining iron ore, but also building infrastructure, securing equity stakes, and fostering technological development that benefits future generations. A central component of the project is its co-development model, meaning the financial responsibilities, risks, and long-term benefits are shared among international partners and the Guinean state. This approach aims to prevent situations where foreign operators extract raw resources while the host country receives minimal long-term value. Officials say this model ensures transparency and positions Guinea as a partner, rather than simply a site of extraction. One of the most ambitious elements of the project is the construction of a double-track railway extending more than 650 kilometers from the mining zones in the southeast to the new deepwater Port of Morbéa on the Atlantic coast. The railway is expected to transport up to 120 million tons of iron ore annually using 143 locomotives and more than 7,000 wagons, each capable of carrying 81 tons. Engineers describe the line as one of the most extensive railway systems currently under development in Africa, designed not only for mining, but future commercial transportation across regions. At the end of the railway is the Port of Morbéa, a major infrastructure development designed to serve as the export hub for the project. The port includes 3 main docks, 2 dedicated to ore carriers and 1 commercial dock to support passengers and goods. With 30 inspection lines, 16 kilometers of conveyor belts, 4 dumpers, 6 stackers, 4 ship loaders, and specialized administrative and residential facilities, the port is engineered to operate at high capacity while serving broader national trade needs. Officials say this infrastructure is intended to make Guinea a logistics center for sub-regional commerce, not just a mineral exporter. The mining blocks themselves are divided between 2 international partnerships. Blocks 1 and 2 are controlled by winning consortium Simandou, alongside Chinese steel giant Baowu, while Blocks 3 and 4 are managed by Rio Tinto Simfer in partnership with Chalco. The government says this arrangement diversifies oversight, reduces reliance on a single foreign partner, and encourages competitive technical performance. Beyond extraction and transport, the project aims to elevate Guinea into the steel production chain. Authorities plan to construct a national steel plant to process a portion of the iron ore domestically, rather than exporting everything in raw form. Feasibility studies are expected to conclude 2 years after the start of operations, and the plant is intended to position Guinea as an active participant in global steel markets rather than a supplier of unprocessed materials. According to officials, this shift is critical for long-term revenue growth and job creation. Perhaps the most significant shift comes in Guinea's ownership stakes across the project. The state now holds 15% non-dilutive shares in the mines, 15% in the railway infrastructure, 15% in the port facilities, and 15% in the planned steel plant. These shares require no direct financial contribution from the government, meaning Guinea becomes a strategic shareholder with voting power and long-term revenue participation. Prior to President Dumbuya's administration, Guinea held no comparable stakes in major mining operations, despite being one of the world's largest holders of bauxite and iron reserves. Government representatives say this structure is intended to ensure that long-term benefits decision-making authority, and industrial leadership remain tied to national interests. It also reduces vulnerability to foreign control, allowing the state to influence future direction even as international companies operate the sites. The government stresses that employment and human development are central goals. Thousands of jobs are expected to be created, with emphasis on inclusion of young people and women in technical and administrative roles. Training programs and technology transfer initiatives will accompany project operations to ensure Guinean workers gradually take on high-skilled positions. In addition, authorities say the project will stimulate wider economic growth by supporting local suppliers, transport companies, construction firms, and service providers. Improved transport networks, including the railway and port, are expected to reduce travel times, open isolated regions, and strengthen domestic trade. For local communities in mining zones, the government promises development programs focused on social infrastructure, public services, and community participation. Taken together, the Simandu project is presented as a long-term national strategy to shift Guinea away from economic dependence and toward industrial competitiveness. It is not simply about extracting iron, but about building new economic systems, expanding trade, and redefining how African nations manage natural wealth. As operations progress, Guinea positions itself as a rising industrial actor on the continent, part of a broader trend where African states seek greater control over natural resources and a stronger role in global supply
Thank you
chains.
for watching Voice of Africa. Share your thoughts in the comments about Guinea's approach to resource management and whether more African nations should adopt similar strategies. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more viewers can engage in this conversation. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and stay connected to Africa's story.